So next, I'm going to be introducing Simon from Xberts, and Simon is flown in from Beijing. Where is Simon? Okay, there he is. Come on up, and he's going to be interviewed by Anson Bailey at KPMG. So come on up and take the hot seat.
So hi Simon, we had a pretty good chat before the event started. So first of all, tell us a bit about yourself and an expert.
Yeah, so hello everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me. So it's a great time to say hello first. So I was born and grew up in South China, in Guangdong province, and then I went to college in China, and then after that I went to US and Sweden for postgraduate study. And I also worked at a couple of different US companies. I started work on my own business since 2013, which is 3 years ago. Yeah.
Right. So what does the expert do?
Yeah, so Xbert is a cross-border marketplace for electronic products, which is curated by a community of influencers. We connect the Chinese manufacturers with international influencers and experts to review their products and distribute across the social media channels.
Right. So I know you have this term. I had a chance to check out his website, and basically it's called crowd testing, right? So you let sort of product developers, especially new products, to put their product out, and then you go out and also seek the key opinion leaders to give their expert views about how good products are, and then, or if there are problems, then they will also say that. So very objective view about the product.
Yeah, so there are two kinds of manufacturers come to us. One is early stage manufacturers. They come to us to launch a campaign and look for the early adopters to test out their product and give them early stage product feedback before they launch on the market. The second stage is the manufacturers who already have existing product. They want to promote the sales. They want to have the better lead generation. They come to us, and then we help them with the social sales.
Right, and then this question comes is that I believe there are many websites that does product review. What makes yours special and unique? And then do you see, when you talk about how does it help the product company or the manufacturers to actually generate branding and awareness and actually sales? Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, so I think there are a few differences. The first differentiation is that we call it crowd testing because the whole process is more like crowdsourcing. You crowdsource the best reviewer for each specific product. And then the manufacturers are able to pick who's the right one to review the product. So the whole process is more transparent and trustworthy because the biggest problem between the manufacturer in China and the international end consumer is that they don't trust the product from China sometimes. So the best way to solve this problem is that engage the opinion leaders to test it out and make the whole process transparent enough. And the second differentiation is it's going to be something launched in our next version, which is hopefully by the end of this month. So in other review websites, people browse products, browse reviews based on the product category. So what we do different next is we enable people to browse, search the reviews based on the demand category. Like I want to improve my sleep quality, I want to lose weight, I want to surprise my girlfriend. So it's more demand driven. So that's what we're going to do in the next version of product.
So make product more easily, sort of more searchable.
Yeah, easy to understand.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So we also talk about the fact that some of these products, if they had a chance to actually, before the actual launch, to get these opinion back, does it really help when they actually launch a product, say for example, even on Kickstarter and Indiegogo, to make it more successful? Have you been able to track that, how much you're able to help because of the sort of pre-launch feedback they obtain?
Yeah, so we have been helping around 20, Kickstarter projects launch. So most of them, they launch the campaign here, which is more like a warm-up process. They warm up here with the influencers because on Kickstarter, there's a component called updates. So when they're doing the campaign, they should update the backers to give the backers more confidence. So with more and more reviews going up, they can always, have the good materials to update their followers. And also those influencers, KOL, they can also, spread around the awareness for the brand. So more and more people can come to the Kickstarter.
And you And you vet the experts who give reviews to make sure these are people qualified to give reviews and objective view, right?
Yes.
So how do you vet them, and also how do you attract them in the first place?
Yes, so there was a chicken and egg problem in the beginning. So how we do it is, first of all, we go to, because we use social media very actively, so we use LinkedIn and Twitter very often. So we attract those people. Basically, like we are making a lot of different messaging, customized different messaging, and do a lot of different A/B testing and engage those experts come to our site, because we already have some free products in the beginning offered to them. And then I think that helps a lot of people apply. The biggest campaign, we got like 1,000 experts apply for a small job, so which is very surprising.
So that's really interesting. So can you share about how the business model, how it works, and who do you charge, and how what's your revenue stream from running this business?
Yeah, so two ways. The first way is affiliate. So we are not doing direct sales on our website. It's more like indirect sales. We are directing we are using the reviews to direct the users, the followers to Amazon, to eBay or some other website, to Kickstarter. So they actually place the order on Amazon, but we have like affiliate program with Amazon. So it's kind of like Pinterest. Pinterest has a strong affiliate program. That's how they make money. The second way we are going to do is, we have been doing is, we charge some like premium service fee from the manufacturers. A lot of manufacturers in China, they are willing to pay for the money to boost their brand. So I think it's kind of part of the marketing budget for them. So.
So this is sort of marketing campaign.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you've successfully sort of completed your sort of accelerator program with YC, and you got funding from YC as well, and all the mentoring support. Can you share with us sort of your experience working with YC and how it's benefiting the company and you sort of when you start the company?
Yeah, definitely. So I think YC is definitely life-changing experience for any entrepreneur if you have the chance to go there. So my YC experience is interesting because we applied for YC a couple of times before, but even with the recommendation from some alum, but we didn't get in because at that time we were too early. But this year, we are not actually planning to apply for YC. But what interesting is that one of the YC partner become our active reviewer. I don't even know that until he sent me email saying, hey, you guys did a great job. I want to have an office hour with you guys in Beijing. And then he actually flew to Beijing. And then we have a one-on-one chat. And then after the chat, he said, I want to recommend you guys for an interview. So, and then I think we did a great job on the interview and then getting YC. So YC gave us a lot of support in terms of the product development, how to explore the product market fit, how to grow, how to tell a bigger story, and the strategy. Of course, fundraising is also very helpful for YC because the demo day, on demo day, we are able to present in front of over 1,200 investors from both online and offline. So we get tons of leads from the YC demo day. Each presentation is just 150 seconds. I think it's one of the most effective and productive pitch I have ever made.
Great, good training. So, it's been 2 years, right, since you launched Xberts?
Yeah, we launched the Prada at the end of last year.
Right.
Before that, we did a lot of customer research and discovery. Yeah, so far it's almost 1 year.
Right. So I know it's relatively short period of time, but if you look ahead about sort of in 3 years' time, what would you like Xbert to be sort of in terms of the market positioning, and what do you want people to see Xbert be?
So we want Xbert to be the next generation of social e-commerce for international trading, because we see a lot of social e-commerce for local market, but for the cross-border market, we haven't seen enough yet. There are a few successful cross-border e-commerce platforms, for example, Wish. They're doing great, but the products they're selling are kind of different from what we sell. So we sell a few better products and high-priced items. So
I have this sort of last question. I think this is the one you'd like to elaborate a bit more on. is that in your experience, right, can you share maybe 2 or 3 things that you think are fundamental to any entrepreneur when to make sure that they are able to run a successful startup?
Yes, I think there are 3 things that I want to share based on the experience I learned from YC and my own startup. So the first thing is, be honest with yourself and don't be afraid to make change. Here, what I mean are 2 things. First of all, there are so many hot topics out there. VR, AR, AI, right? So drones, robotics, IoT, there are so many things. We always hear many other entrepreneurs saying, oh, today I'm working on this. The next month they're working on another idea. But you have to know about yourself enough and then realize what's your true passion. And the second thing is you have to know better about your people. If you realize someone in your team is not doing a good job, don't be afraid to just let them go. Because I believe the best people always bring in the positive dynamics. If the dynamics is not right, which means something wrong. And the second thing is, I want to share is about, never give up, be persistent. Because we see so many people give up after they fail the YC applications. Even Dropbox, they apply for YC for twice. The second time they get in. So there are so many problems, in the early stage that can kill a young startup. It could be the founder relationship are not strong enough. It could be the founders burn out all the money before they make enough revenue. So there are many problems, but be persistent. It doesn't mean you have to be persistent with your business idea, because idea may change. But be persistent with your passion and ambition, because it's part of the process to be a problem solver, to solve real problems and become a real entrepreneur. So the last thing I want to share is focus on growth, because I realize a lot of entrepreneurs haven't paid enough attention to what kind of metrics that matter to their business. So they sometimes spend money on faking the growth or growing the wrong metrics. So this is very common right now. But
just on that point then, what would be the key metrics for Xberts?
So I think definitely revenue comes first. This is also why this is cultural. So if you have the chance, put revenue as the #1 metrics, and then the others as the second. So focus on the key metrics and continue to build the momentum, because momentum really matters. So because momentum represents how well you execute your business. It also indicates the next step of your ambition, your plan. So it also builds up the confidence for your investor, for your employee, and for yourself. So focus on the key metrics and grow and continue to build momentum. So that's my last piece of advice.
Right. If I can just pick on one of the points you mentioned about team and people, we still have 2 minutes, is, I mean, you talk about some point in time you're going to find someone who might not be a good fit. But at the same time, as you grow, right, first of all, how many people are on your team?
So right now we have like 15 people.
15,
yeah.
Right? So at what point did you decide that I need to get someone in and not doing everything myself? Because founders have a tendency to try and do everything themselves.
Yeah, so it depends on the product roadmap strategy and also the momentum. So once you figure out if something that you're doing really matters, but you're not the perfect one to do this very well, you find someone who's better than you. So the CEO is always looking for the talents to do something that he's not good at. And then the next stage will be scale. So we are not the scaling stage yet, but I'm sure maybe from next month we are going to scale faster. So
you're going to start hiring very soon?
Yeah. So we always keep a close eye on talents, be open-minded.
Okay, all right. So any last piece of advice for anyone that are looking at hardware startup company or hardware idea?
Yeah, so here's interesting facts I noticed. So recently, in the recent batch of YC, even for the next batch of YC, there are not that many consumer hardware business. So if you are doing consumer hardware business, think twice about what kind of value you bring to the value chain in the long run. Because people who launch the successful project on Kickstarter, it doesn't mean that they can sustain the business for a long run. It's more like a creative project. It's a good project. But in terms of business, you have to think like how you can become like a $1 billion business. That's what like YC always asks us, like how you can be like build $1 billion business. If you haven't figured that out, continue to build your product and think better about what you want to do next.
Okay, we're right on time. So thank you, Simon.
Thank you so much.